Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new Thrill Vision video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about my top 6 favorite roller coasters at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Now, Magic Mountain is not my home park. I want to get that out of the way. My home park is Six Flags Great Adventure. However, when I went to Magic Mountain last year, it was just really amazing, and I wanted to start off this YouTube channel by talking about my experience there in the form of a top 6 favorite roller coaster video. So without further ado, let's get started to our number 6 ride, coaster, whatever, Superman the Escape from Krypton. Now the reason why this ride is the main reason why this was actually going to be a top 5. Well, first of all, this was actually going to be a top 5 list. However, Superman Escape from Krypton, I was like, okay, I had to include it. It was just, it's just a really well done ride, so I made it a top 6. And the reason why this is a 6th on the list is because of the fact that, well, here's the thing: if this was still originally Superman the Escape, it wouldn't be on this list. The sort of redoing the ride was very much needed. Flipping the trains around so that you are sort of facing backwards, you're launched backwards, and then you go forwards again when you fall from the tower is just really, really, useful. It's really awesome. And, the way how it's done well with Lex Luthor is just really awesome. However, one more thing I want to say about this ride: if you haven't ridden it yet, make sure that, no matter how many times you ride it, make sure you ride it at least once at night. Trust me, it's so much, it's really worth it riding it at night, because it's awesome and you're right in the middle of the park. The tower is just really intimidating already, and just riding it at night, in my opinion, adds to the thrill of it. So that's why it made the list. So going on to number 5, Twisted Colossus. Twisted Colossus, a lot of people would expect this ride to actually be, closer to the number 1 position, like maybe 3 or 4. However, the reason why I have it at number 5 is because of the fact that, in my opinion, I feel like RMC and Six Flags, they intended this ride to sort of be less about the whole adrenaline and actual experience from riding the coaster, thrill-wise, and more about just having fun, because my major highlight of, riding this roller coaster was, racing against the other train, against the inversions and the air time. The inversions, racing against the other train, and the air time. Those are the 3 things that I thought were this coaster's secret powers, And I didn't really get as much of a thrill out of it, but I had a blast on it. So, it was, in my opinion, that's, it's still a very much phenomenal ride. But from what I've heard, it being compared to the other RMCs, I heard it's not as strong of a coaster. Now, that's obviously not, I tried to keep that much out of the decision of me putting this at 5th as much as possible, since this was actually the only RMC I've ever ridden. However, I plan on riding more next year. But it's still, still a phenomenal ride. I just feel like just having a blast and just having a good time, having fun, was more of this ride's focus. I mean, it's every ride's focus, but I feel like it's, specifically it's more of this ride's focus than the whole adrenaline you get just from riding a roller coaster. So that was number 5, and we're going on to number 4, Riddler's Revenge. Now, obviously, the reason, number 5 and number 4 on this list, it wasn't only decided by, just Twisted Colossus by itself. Riddler's Revenge did a lot to deserve this position on the list, and the first thing is that I just want to say in general, this is a steel B&M stand-up done correctly. It's just a really awesome ride. It interacts with the terrain. It's really, really well themed. I love how it's nice, a grassy, bushy area. Have all these fake buildings around it. The pre-drop, I'm a fan. Comparing this to Green Lantern at Six Flags Great Adventure, this is a much better ride in terms of, first of all, more inversions. I'm a sucker for inversions. It's just awesome. I've ridden both coasters, so I do have a right to sort of, uh, give my, first of all, it's themed better, it's smoother, and there's more inversions to it. And the fact that this ride is smooth just makes it so worth it in general. I really love also the extra dive loop. That really just, going from dive loop to dive loop on this coaster. I've ridden this coaster like twice, I think. And it was just awesome being able to you know, get that sort of a dive loop to dive loop experience. It was just awesome. So, and also, of course, the vertical loop lifting, going around the hill or something. No, yeah, going around the lift hill, up and over the lift hill is just really awesome, and I love that. I think it's one of 4 coasters in the world that do that. So, yeah, that's number 4 on this list. Now we're getting to our top 3. Number 3 being Full Throttle. Now, Full Throttle, this coaster is literally, I know I already said this about Twisted Colossus, about how, it's really meant to be having a blast. However, when I think of radical having a blast on a roller coaster, this is what I think of. And that's honestly what my experience on Full Throttle was. I had a blast on it. It was just awesome. Sorry. First of all, the first launch out of the station was just really, really awesome. I just loved how it was one of my favorite parts of the ride. I think I have 3 favorite parts of the ride, and that was my first favorite part of the ride, which was the launching out of the station, right out of the station, which was, I love, there's not a lot of coasters in the world that launch right out of the station, so I really liked how, Full Throttle did that. Also, what is it? Obviously, the vertical loop with the lap bar was awesome. I just love, having a vertical loop. Just any inversions that involve you not having to wear an over-the-shoulder restraint is just, I'm just a sucker for those. So, wearing the lap bar and then riding a loop, it was just awesome. My third favorite part that was my second favorite part of the ride. My third favorite part of this ride was that, well, we're already at like 7 minutes or something with this video, 7-8 minutes. I'll try to go faster, but my third and final favorite part of this ride is the top hat, and how it just really launches you. That third launch really just shoots you out of that tunnel, and you go right on top of the top hat. You can see the whole park. It's a great view, and it's just an awesome end to an amazing ride. So that's Full Throttle. For number 2, we have Tatsu. Now, some people might be wondering why I put this roller coaster so high on the list. Well, it's simple. If you are looking for an experience, now I have not ridden the Flying Dinosaur ride in Japan or China, I forget where it's located. I haven't ridden that ride yet, so I can't really, I don't really have I've ridden Manta and Superman Ultimate Flight, so I can compare this coaster a little bit to those rides. There's so many really awesome things about this ride. The first thing is that it is the closest experience, safe experience at least, that you'll get to actually flying. And I'm being dead serious here. The inversions, the zero-G rolls are such, sort of like the curves and the inversions, especially after the first drop, are really like, you feel like you're flying. It's honestly just awesome, and I love it. And obviously the intensity of the pretzel loop is just amazing. It's one of the best pretzel loops ever. I just love it. And the way this ride is all laid out, how it uses the terrain, it's just awesome, and I love it. I keep saying I love it, but I really loved this coaster. I was at Magic Mountain for like 3 days, I think, and I rode the coaster like maybe a combined 10 to 15 times. I mean, it was a walk-on the time I went, so I didn't really have to wait in any lines, but yeah, Magic Mountain, Tatsu, it was just awesome experience. It was all laid out. I feel like Superman and Manta, you were kind of rushed into those loops, rushed into those dive loops after the first, into those pretzel loops after the first drop. Didn't really get the entire flying experience. Tatsu, and plus Tatsu was smooth as butter. Especially the first drop, going around that watchtower, it was just awesome. So yeah, that's it. Tatsu number 2, and for those of you who haven't guessed yet, X2 is number 1 on this list, and probably my favorite coaster I've ever ridden. I mean, I only have about 50 or so credits, but X2 was just a phenomenal ride for me, and I loved it. And there's several reasons why this ride is number 1. First of all, it's I feel like it's the best of its kind in the world. It's one of the only rides of its kind in the world. Obviously, I'm taking the SNS 40 free spins out of this category because, honestly, the SNS 40 free spins are nowhere near the experience that you're going to get on a ride like X2. Pretty much, I don't know, X2. For the first drop is just awesome how it turns. I was in the front row. I was riding this at night, and basically, we went on. I went on the front row, and the moment it turned my seat upside down and I got to experience the first drop, it's probably one of the best experiences I've had on a roller coaster in my entire life. The fire, just everything about it, and basically what I like about this ride after the first drop and the first sort of like loop type of element after the first drop, I feel like the ride didn't really slow down at all, which was awesome. I mean, X2 was just a phenomenal ride. I got adrenaline rushes out of it. It was just so much fun. The on-ride audio really made it a lot better. Yeah, and that's really about it. I just loved the ride, and I loved all the rides at Six Flags Magic Mountain when I when I went there. I definitely hope to go back there again someday because all of the rides there are just absolutely incredible, and that's really about it. So we're at about 12 minutes, and I didn't really make an ending slide for this presentation, but that's fine. Anyways, sorry, I hope you all enjoyed this video, very first video from me, Thrill Vision, and I'm going to be making more videos. In fact, in a few days I'm probably going to upload my Six Flags predictions, mainly because I'm very interested in seeing what's going to be going to the parks next year, including my park, Six Flags Great Adventure, which has been teasing a lot about a new attraction lately, a World's First. However, enough with that. I will talk about that in another video. For now, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment. Subscribing means a lot, especially since this is a brand new channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.